Johannesburg has always been and continues to remain a city of stark contrast between those who enjoy the highest standard of living and those who struggle to make ends meet. I have chosen to look at this city as I believe it shows the true extent of spatial inequality across a major city. Johannesburg has implemented a strategy to combat its extreme spatial inequality, the growth management strategy, which has been created as a way to re-stitch the social fabric of the city. Some steps taken in the strategy are transferable to our own city of Sydney. Inequality often manifests itself within cities, and it tends to be exacerbated further by spatial disparities, whereby individuals residing in less affluent areas have to travel to greater distances to get to centres of economic activity. The economic effects of the apartheid are most notable in Johannesburg, where educational reforms by the government have only been effective in wealthier parts of the city, which leaves a great disparity between the two. There are three basic forms of spatial inequality existing in Johannesburg. These include regional disparities, a rural-urban divide, and urban underclass. Historical patterns over the last 20 years have highlighted the continual expansion of Johannesburg and further emphasised the continuing trend of spatial inequality. As more people are looking to live and work in Johannesburg, there is more stress placed on the urban planning schemes. There is a need for growth management to occur in order to provide equitable, social and societal platforms. The growth management strategy is actioned by the Department of Urban Planning and Management. It is a simplified overview to an expansive strategy, with a desired outcome to provide a new urban form across the city. I have decided to summarise the most important strategies to be implemented. These include accessible networks of nodes, efficient and citywide transport systems, increasing transport and economic linkage, and densification of accessible locations. The strategy's goal is to mend spatial inequality, and in doing so creating a new urban form to remove the effects of the Great Divide. Goals that have been initiated include the encouragement of new investment rather than new nodes, ensuring adequate levels of infrastructure to support development, limiting future developments in hotspots, as well as ensuring that areas that are in most need of change are actively given these opportunities to increase their standard of living. Effective or not effective, the legacy of spatial inequality that was a result of the apartheid has yet to be properly addressed. Despite the city of Johannesburg using progressive sounding phrases to describe how it is embarking on a spatial vision for the city or restitching the social fabric of the city, the real plans of the city, such as the Stained City, which are essentially closed-off cities for the rich, raise serious questions about the government's commitment to actually doing what it says. The City of Johannesburg's restitching strategy is based on transit-oriented development. However, the large-scale private projects are the focus point of much of the city's planning. The continued migration to cities, coupled with population growth, means that just over 61% of the population currently living in urban areas will continue to grow. Until public space is recognised for the resource that it is, the city's urban agenda will continue to see private mega projects being favoured at the expense of its poorest citizens. Although this strategy in Johannesburg has provided little impact on the spatial inequality that plagues the city, the key lessons would be beneficial for Sydney's spatial inequality problem. The role of citywide transport with accessible nodes for Johannesburg can be implemented in Sydney's issue for communities in growth areas who are deemed disadvantaged. This would give them more business and economic growth, as well as providing equitable access for job opportunities. Additionally, limiting future development until infrastructure is there to support is another key lesson that could be implemented in Sydney. The Southwest. Without these actions implemented, inequality would continue to spread across Sydney, as the Great Divide would continue to grow. It is up to us, the future, to make sure strategies like this will solve the spatial inequality problem. Thank you.